Good evening, and welcome to another World of Warships video with Captain Darkwing Glacier. In this battle, I'm taking out my Tier 10 Premium American Heavy Cruiser, the USS Salem. Now, this ship I recently purchased with coal in the arsenal that Wargaming has recently added to World of Warships, and I was excited to get this ship because even though it's very similar to the Des Moines, the USS Salem is currently a museum ship in Quincy, Massachusetts, which is pretty close to home, and I haven't visited yet, but I definitely do need to visit it soon. So this battle is actually a ranked battle from the 10th season of ranked battles that Wargaming has put out for World of Warships, and I can tell you it was the most brutal season I've ever played so far, and I am glad to have ranked out of it just a few days ago. So the Salem, well, actually let me back up. The ranked season this year, mainly I've been doing battleships, because last season I did battleships as well. It was Tier 10, I had the Montana, and that was my primary ship throughout the season. I started out trying various different Tier 10s, and I settled on the Montana because I was having some success with it, and then I continued using that ship for the entirety of the season. This year, or this season I should say, because they're not quite a year apart, I had a couple more Tier 10s, including the Conqueror, the Grosser Kurfurst, and I believe I had the Henry IV back then too, but in any event I had more Tier 10s, so I cycled through them all, and I quickly found out that I was having a lot of success with the Grosser Kurfurst, so I started using that a lot. But then every once in a while I would run into a snag where I would have a big series of losses, and I would just cycle through the ships again to see if I could find success elsewhere. And in this game I decided I was going to try out the Salem and see how I could do. Now the thing about playing in battleships for a while is that you feel very vulnerable in a cruiser once you're used to battleships, because I know if I just stick my nose out I'm going to get citadeled to oblivion, and you got to be very careful with cruisers. So you kind of tuck yourself in next to an island where you can radar the cap and support your team, and in many respects it's a passive play style. You sit in one place, you radar for your team, you hope they can do a lot of damage, and you contribute wherever you can while at the same time not exposing yourself to get blapped by some eager battleship. Now that's what I used to do all the time in battleships. I would wait for those cruisers to, back up or move forward just a little bit too much, and then my broadside would come in and unsuspectingly just annihilate them. So here I am tucked into an island trying to support the Grosavoy and the Cap, and radaring, and the Salem does not quite have the range of radar that the Des Moines does. So I have to get as close as I can, and I got to be very careful. In a previous game of the Salem, I just edged a little bit too far forward. I tried to reverse, and I didn't quite reverse fast enough, and boom, it was all over. So I'm extra nervous, extra careful in this game, trying to just stick my nose out, get some shots off. I know that a lot of times my shells are just going to hit the island. So here I am detected again. So it looks like the Kurfurst is going too much, so I got to start backing up. So I start edging backwards, getting off some shells. Now one thing about the Salem compared to the Des Moines is that because it has the Royal Navy cruiser heel, which is much superior to the standard American cruiser heel, is that it saved my butt multiple times, because I make a mistake in the Salem, I get citadeled, I don't know, twice, and I lose like 3/4 of my health in one shot, and I can repair a significant portion of that. Whereas in the Des Moines, you get a little bit of health back and that's it. So the Salem in that respect is more forgiving. On the other hand, the radar isn't as good. It's only 8.5 kilometer range rather than the 9.9 of the Des Moines, and it lasts for only 25 seconds, I believe, compared to the Des Moines, which can go almost to a minute. Now I do have the special upgrade that gives me an additional 20% of its duration time. Another advantage that the Des Moines has is that you can get either defensive fire or hydroacoustic search. The Salem, you can't do that. You're stuck with the defensive AA. Now, in a game without a carrier, that means, it's pretty much useless. I mean, yeah, you can use it to shoot down enemy spotter planes, but you can do that usually even without defensive fire. So it's kind of a useless consumable in that respect. So my Raider's back, I kick it off again, and I'm still just kind of peppering the Yamato here, setting a couple fires. I've got 3 fires so far this game, and I've got a decent amount of hits. So fortunately I'm kind of doing my job at this point, which is good. Looks like the entire enemy team went to the C cap, so we have half of our team has gone to B, and now they're advancing to A, so we have an advantage in that regard. I'm kind of holding my own, and kind of a key factor here is that no one's really paying attention to me. They see all those battleships, those 2 Montanas, one kind of to the southwest of me and one just to the west of C, which is the obvious threat. He's in the open, he's attracting a lot of fire, and then there's the Yamato further off, and then the 2 cruisers that are going to the A cap. And we've already lost our Grosser, so we're down a ship. But no one's looking at me, so I can just kind of sit here and continually fire at the enemy. Okay, we just lost our Moskva now. He got taken up by the Grosser Kurfurst on the enemy team. And I've backed up a little bit too much now. My shells aren't going to quite hit the Yamato, so I got to move forward again. And I also spot that the enemy Montana is now starting to come this way. And it looks like he is presenting a lot of broadside. And he's burning, he's on fire, so I quickly switch over to AP. Maybe I can take this guy out. So I stick my nose out, just peeking out from behind this island. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, he rams the Yamato, exposes his broadside to me. There's one shot, and boom! That's kill number 1. And guess what? The Yamato is stuck right in front of him. So I switch back to AP, and I just, cut loose and continue to fire. So now both of our Montanas are approaching the cap. We have taken them down to 1 ship. We're down 2 ships, and I'm already at 6 fires, 1 kill, and over 100,000 damage. So now the Yamato is advancing forward, and we take out their Des Moines as well. So now we're back even with them at 2 ships. We have B cap, we are capping A. They take out our Zaus, now they're ahead again, and I'm thinking, okay, the Yamato's advancing, there's no one really in a position to fire back, so I can afford to get out a little bit further. And I switched to AP because he's showing lots of broadside. Already I get the Witherer award. 7 fires now. So I kick off my radar to make sure I can see the Yamato. I switch my view to the front turret so I can peek out. And there we go, look at all that broadside. Switch to the American AP and I start firing 5 penetrations. Fire again. Again, I gotta adjust my view so I can see again. Another shot. Now I'm detected by enemy radar. Yeah, it's probably the enemy Stalingrad. And we just lost the Montana. We're down to 3 ships to their 5, so things are not looking good. But I kind of even the score a tiny bit. I got the Arsonist Award and kill number 2 by taking out their Yamato. Now they're looking at me. The Stalingrad turns his guns in my direction just as I expose my broadside to him, and I pay for this one, and I take, surprisingly, not as much damage as I thought. That's only about a quarter of my health down. I immediately start turning around as fast as I can. Try to angle on this guy before he can fire. I'm taking more shots, looks like from the Kurfurst over there, or at least the Des Moines. And the second barrage from the Stalingrad still does 3,000 damage, but isn't too severe. I try to get a tiny little shot over at the Des Moines there. It gives me the High Caliber Award. So I'm kind of racking up the achievements, even though I don't feel like I'm doing all that much to the team, because mostly they've been focusing on my teammates. So I gotta give a hand to them for everything they've done so far, because they've been taking the damage, they've been distracting the enemy team, allowing me to just kind of whittle away at their health. I'm already at 157,000 damage and climbing. I know I'm not going to win a gunfight against the Stalingrad, so I'm starting to angle so I can turn around and get behind this island. While I'm continuing to get him burning, and he decides to give up on me. He's turning his guns towards the east, where we have the Yamato and the Montana, the only other ships, and they are going after the enemy Kurfurst. So the entire enemy team now is focused on our 2 battleships, leaving me alone again. And I slip behind the island, and I see next that the Des Moines, their Des Moines is low on health. So maybe I can take him out while his attention is focused. So our Montana there is low on health, but our Yamato is still doing good. Maybe I can reduce some of the pressure on him by taking out this Des Moines. I switch to HE. And there we go, set him on fire. Shouldn't be long, another salvo or two will go down. Our Montana goes down. It's just me and the Yamato. There we go, the Des Moines gone. Okay, Yamato's in good health. He's going to take out that Kurfurst, and here's me against the Stalingrad, showing me lots of broadside. I switch to AP. And there we go, 2 Citadels. And one more. Let's see, can we get... Yes, 2 more Citadels, and I... Whoa, wait a minute. What happened to the Yamato? He was like 3/4 health. Let's rewind this. Okay, so now we're back to the point just before I killed the Des Moines, I believe. We're zoomed in on the Yamato, and look, he has 70k health, or just under that. So let's look at this from a different perspective. So this is from the replay, just now zooming in on them. See, our Montana goes down, our Yamato still has plenty of health left, and he's going up against the Kurfurst. He fires a good broadside into the Kurfurst, takes him down to about half of the health he had, so he's very low. I just took out the Des Moines now. Looks like the Kurfurst is going to fire, but the Yamato has way too much health to have died quickly. So let's see what happens. Okay, the Stalingrad shots come in. There goes the Kurfurst. He takes a little bit of health, so now the Yamato's about 50%. The Yamato fires his rear turret, he kills the Yamato, and whoa. The last 2 shots from the Kurfurst took out half the health of the Yamato. And now he's gone. Enemy cruiser destroyed. So bringing us back to the present again, here I am taking out the Stalingrad, and to my astonishment I find out that I'm the only ship left on my team. Now the enemy has 1 ship as well, and they have a Shimakaze. And I have 1 charge of my radar left, and I do not have hydroacoustic because I have the Salem, not the Des Moines. So, currently the enemy has 2 caps. My team is currently in the lead, but we're going to lose that lead soon. As you can see by the timers above, they're going to win in 6 minutes and 52 seconds, and we're going to win in just over 13 minutes. So we will lose unless I do something. I need to get more than 1 of these caps, and I need to take out the Shimakaze. Of course, he is going to be trying to stay out of my radar range and torpedo me. So now we have a game of cat and mouse, and I'm not quite sure who's the cat and who's the mouse at this point. Hopefully the Shimakaze does not know how much radar I have left, and therefore that'll keep him far away. Maybe I'll be able to get this cap and then move elsewhere. So things are kind of tense at this point. I do have something in my favor. I do have 38,000 health left, so I can take a torpedo. Well, maybe 1 torpedo. If I take 2, then I'm in big trouble. He also has RDF, so I am located. I just mentioned that in chat. So he knows at least the general direction where I am, and it's not going to be long before he detects me. And yep, there he is. He is in the B cap right now. So I'm capping C while he's capping B. So we're kind of just trading caps at this point. So that's going to be a net gain for him in that they're still going to win compared to us as soon as he finishes that cap. Well, in the meantime, I don't have anything to be ashamed of in this game. I've gotten Witherer, I've gotten Arsonist, I've gotten High Caliber, 4 kills, 205,000 damage. Now I just have to survive and not embarrass myself with both teams watching us. So at this point, while I'm playing the game, my face is about half an inch from the computer screen. I'm at the edge of my seat, looking at both the mini-map and scanning the regular map, trying to find any sign of that Shimakaze, and thinking, okay, he was at B, so I'm just going to head at B in that direction, and now I'm detected. So my radar range isn't quite the same as my detection range, so I'm going to count to about 10, and then I'll light off my radar, and he's not in detection range. So he sees me, but he's outside my radar range, so there's just an annulus in where he could be. Now, where is he? He could be north, he could be south, or he could be to the west. So I'm scanning, and I know those torpedoes are going to be coming any second. I just have no idea what direction they're going to come from. So I'm starting to jink back and forth, hoping to throw off his aim in case he's aiming them now. Maybe mess up his solution. But really, I don't have the slightest idea where he is. Oh, here we go. Turn on the torpedo beats. Whew. So, I survived that round. I cut my engine and went full left rudder. And so I know where he is. He's to the south of me, and he's undoubtedly heading back to the C cap. So I get into the B cap, and I start capping that. And they still have a 2-minute advantage over us. Hopefully I can reduce that. And I probably have about 2 minutes before his torpedoes are reloaded. And at this point, I'm starting to shoot towards the C cap, because I know he's in that direction somewhere. And if I'm lucky, I can either scare him from going into the cap, or I could even hit him, which is, almost impossible, but I don't know, maybe I'll confuse him into thinking that I know where he is when in fact I don't. So I'm already turning around and I'm debating, am I going to have to go back and try to defend the C cap, or should I just go to A? So I'm shooting right at the edge of the cap, hoping it'll dissuade him from going into the cap. At this point, I'm like, I'm out of radar now. Do I go back to C, or do I try to grab A? One of my teammates says that he's definitely to the south, so I should go A, and that's kind of the safe decision, because if he's to the south of me, then if I just turn away from him, he's less likely going to be able to torpedo me. My teammates are also telling me to stop shooting. They don't realize that it doesn't even matter, because I'm still detected anyway. Well, I guess it kind of does matter, because my detection radius will be lower if I stop shooting, but he's still within 10.6 kilometers of me, and I do not have radar left, so... Well, at this point, I'm kind of grasping at straws, just hoping I don't see another wall of skill heading my way. That just kind of ends the game ignominiously. So the other team is, I don't know if this is a trick on their part, or if someone just made a mistake. He's telling him to get C. So at this point, I have a general idea where he is. He's between B and C somewhere, but closer to C, closer to B. His torpedoes are probably reloaded by now, so any second now there could be torpedoes chasing me, or he could be waiting to close the distance on me and then launch the torpedoes when I have no chance of dodging them. Okay, he's definitely gone back to B. He is now capturing B. They still have the advantage. The points are close. They have 810 to our 788. And if I don't capture this, they're going to win. My teammates are again telling me not to shoot, but it doesn't make any difference. But then I go out of detection. So he might be behind the island, or he's just south of my detection range. And again, he has RDF, so he knows where I am, the general direction. I'm detected again, so now he's either on the other side of the island, and I just fire a salvo in that direction, or he is just close enough heading in my direction. So I begin turning around because I'm going to finish this capture soon, and I got to head back to B as soon as possible. The capture will be done in about 5 seconds, and then we will have 2 caps again to their 1. And all of a sudden, the tables turn. We will win in 2 minutes, they will win in 3. And of course, at this point, I don't even realize that there's only 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the game. So again, I'm waiting for those torpedoes to come. They could be coming from any direction. Well, probably somewhere in front of me. Uh-oh, here come the torpedo beats again.
Torpedoes, dead ahead, starboard.
Okay, that actually wasn't so bad. I'm guessing he's got to be over there somewhere based on how his torpedoes were launched. 30 seconds. Of course, when I'm actually playing the game, I had no idea how much time was left. I figured that I was just going to run out of time, and he realizes he's out of time, so he exposes himself by shooting at me, and that's a mistake. So I open up my guns on him. I'm going to kill him long before he gets to me. 10 seconds to go in the game. Can I get the kill? Can I get the Kraken and the win at the same time? Last shells, this will do it, and oh, the clock runs out with shells in the air. That could have been kill number 5 in a Kraken, but I'll take the victory just the same. That was a pretty tense game, and my heart rate was going through the roof when I was playing this one, and it was very fun, very tense, and I was proud of my Salem for getting me through that. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.